It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, everybody. Yes, it is showtime. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new month. It is a brand new, actually, let me go backwards. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new week. And it is a brand new month edition of the Geno Jones Daily Variety Show. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. if you're in Chicago or Houston or Dallas or Memphis, and 3:30 if you're out watching me out there on the left coast, out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles, or out in Seattle, maybe the Bay Area or Portland. So, brand new day, like I said. Brand new day, brand new week, brand new month. And I have a brand new sponsor to introduce to you all later in the show. As a matter of fact, so this month, March, is Women's History Month. So I'm going to introduce you to a very successful, dynamic woman who's a co-owner of a black-owned business here, because it's Black History every day here on the Geno Jones Show. But first, I got some more good news. Let's talk about this vaccine. So, over the weekend, vaccine maker Johnson & Johnson got the approval from the government to start shipping their COVID-19 coronavirus vaccines that they are shipping as we speak. Right now, they are going out. So if you get a chance, please get your vaccine shot. Doesn't matter which one it is. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, all the medical experts, all the researchers say, listen, it doesn't matter which one you get. Whatever vaccine is available to you and your family, get it. I'm just going to leave this right here one more time. We have over 500,000 Americans that died in less than 1 year. So that's 500,000 families that's got a hole in their soul, that lost mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers and sons and daughters, nieces and nephews and co-workers and church members and fraternity and sorority brothers and sisters and lodge brothers and sisters. Come on, man. All right. And we as black people, here's the mic drop. In America, not my opinion, the facts, the numbers, the data. For every one person, for every one white person that dies of COVID-19 in America, 3 black people are dying. We are dying at 3 times the rate that white Americans are. So we need to be in front of the line. We need to butt the line. We need to be the line to get, as a matter of fact, can we get 2? Can we get 3? Can we get 4? How many can we get without getting sick? We need to get as many as we can, because we have died in a very disproportionate rate, like everything else. We always get the worst in America. We as black Americans, let's be honest, we get the worst end of everything, but we still thrive. Not only do we survive, we thrive, and we rise like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. But get that vaccine. I'm gonna need you to do that, okay? Because I want you around so you can watch the show. So good news, so now we have 3 main vaccines here in America. So please, as soon as you can, make sure that you get your vaccine, or your loved ones get your vaccine. Because you never know, the life that you save, it could be yours, or maybe the life of someone else. Because you could be an asymptomatic carrier and spread the virus to somebody whose immune system is a little more compromised, or just whose body, for whatever reason, reacts differently to this crazy virus. Because it's crazy how some people can have no symptoms and some people can die. It's just unreal. So let's talk about Saturday night. It's Monday, so that means the weekend just passed. And over the weekend, you heard me talking about this on Friday's show, Saturday Night Live on Instagram. It was the D'Angelo versus Friends versus. Now, if you don't know what versus is, so Instagram, the platform Instagram, they do a live, they call it a battle. It's almost like a live concert. Swiss Beats, my girl Alicia Keys, that's her husband. So Swiss Beats, who is one of the great producers of our time. As a matter of fact, they're two of the greatest producers of our time to put together the Versus Battle. They spell Versus with a Z, Verzuz. So you got Swiss Beats, and then you got Timberland. Timberland's produced from Chris Brown and Rihanna. He's just one of the great music producers of our era. So they got together and put together this Versus Battle. So this Saturday, it was D'Angelo and Friends. Now, there was speculation, who are going to be the D'Angelo versus Friends? Could it be Erykah Badu? Could it be Anthony Hamilton? Could it be Lauryn Hill? Well, it was Redman, Method Man, and her. Yes, her. As a matter of fact, D'Angelo and her, they performed Lauryn Hill's duet, and they put their own spin on this duet and did a great job. It's called Nothing Even Matters. You remember that song? No, I don't sing. I entertain people. I talk. I tell jokes and host TV and radio shows, but I'm not singing. But you remember Nothing Even Matters. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you can find it right here somewhere on YouTube. Check it out. She is such a talented young lady out of the Bay Area, somewhere in that Bay Area. Dynamite. So they really did. It just really put a real sexy, grown folks kind of spin on that version. Their duet, they put the spin on Lauryn Hill's song, Nothing Even Matters. So if you haven't checked it out, if you didn't see the Versus Battle Saturday night. Now, Friday, I was also saying that, so it was D'Angelo versus Friends. And I said, man, Swiss and Tim, you can go back and look at the tape. I said, man, the Versus Battle for the ages, for life would have been if you would have got D'Angelo versus Maxwell. Can you imagine? Man, the sisters would have shut Instagram down. Us dudes, we couldn't even got on Instagram. The ladies would have been like, no. Y'all just go watch the game, go watch LeBron or something. But D'Angelo and Maxwell, oh, listen, the women, the sisters would have owned it. So great minds apparently think alike, because apparently we found out Saturday night that Timberland and Swiss Beats, the original plan was to have D'Angelo versus Maxwell on Valentine's Day. That would have shut down the internet. It would have blown up Instagram. But it didn't happen. I guess Maxwell had some other plans. I guess he's like, y'all might have to wait till the cows come till the cops come knocking? Yeah, y'all might have to wait till the cops come knocking on my door. But I hope they put that together. So that's your weekend in review. It is a Monday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to, I want to bring on my guests. Like I said at the beginning of the show, March is Women's History Month, and every day is Black History right here on the Geno Jones Show. So my guest, plural, my guests today, I'm honored to have. They are the co-owners of the only Black-owned outdoor digital billboard company in the state of South Carolina. Yes, making history. Making them, because Black history is American history, because we were here before everybody but the indigenous people, Native Americans. So, but y'all have heard that speech on my show. So they are here to tell their story of inspiration and just how everything got started, and how if you have a company or a business and you need to get the word out, their company can do it for you. So I'm honored to bring to the show the co-owners of Lockwood Outdoor Advertising, Raquel Padgett and Rodney Lockwood. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my friends. Thank you. I'm so excited to you guys know it. Rachel, you know it. Rodney, I'm glad to have you along here together. Thank you guys again. So I guess I should let you guys start off at the beginning. So how did Lockwood Outdoor Advertising come into being? And then I could imagine there have been a lot of challenges. A lot of times when we are the first in anything, there are always challenges and obstacles, and to overcome that and to be the success that the business has come. I know there's an incredibly inspirational story. So why don't you guys just start from the beginning and tell us how you guys started.
Actually, Lockwood Outdoor Advertising started out, it wasn't Lockwood Outdoor Advertising. It started out, I had a pest control company and I needed a venue and I needed a platform and I had a location on a road that wasn't just so busy then, but right now this is the busiest road probably in the Tri-County in the state. And I needed a platform to advertise my business. I started out as a mom and pop's operation. I didn't have a budget for advertisement. What I had was location, location, location. I was next to Clements Ferry Road, which is one of the hardest areas in the corridor now. And at that point in time, I actually put up I had a flagpole, what's called a platform or a static board now. It's not digital. Those are the vinyl boards that you see next to the interstate. I had 4 because I built a quadruplex stand and it was positioned where I would have one for each unit in my building.
Okay.
And at that point in time, that's when I started out in the vinyl platform. And I've had many people over the years came to me and they wanted to advertise on the platform. And just truth being told, I missed a lot of opportunity over the years because people were chasing me to advertise on my platform, but I was busy chasing my business, trying to build my business. So I did not focus on that platform. And it took a few sun up and a few sundown for me to gain that focus. And it really didn't snap or appear to me until they started to widen in the first area of Clements Ferry Road. I paid attention to my billboard and I paid attention to the digital billboards that were on I-26 and the other major thoroughfare. And I looked, I'm like, oh shit, I can go here, I can do this. And in hindsight, if I had paid attention to it 20 years ago, it would have been a different story because I could have been growing my brand during that time. But to me, it was just a sign then. I didn't realize the value in outdoor advertising, digital advertising, because I was building my brand in the pest control business.
And so we go fast forward to when you officially launch. So what year did you officially launch the outdoor advertising company and the billboard? And tell us how many, because for those watching, we're here in the Charleston metro area. When did you officially launch the outdoor advertising company? And how many billboards do you have currently? And give us the location.
I currently have 2 faces at 2414 Clements Ferry Road. That's Charleston, South Carolina, or /Wandle. It kind of depends because it's in the city of Charleston, but it's in Berkeley County. So the address, it just kind of varies based upon how you Googling it. And what was the other question?
What year?
What year? I'm sorry.
Right.
The year, that's been 2.5 years now, but the 2.5 years now was to launch a Lockwood Outdoor. The board's been there the whole time. The board's been there. The static board's been there over 20 years. They were just kind of sitting there as a dumb sign in the yard, not knowing the value of it.
Wait a minute, right there, I gotta stop you. He said, I love it. You said a dumb sign in the yard, huh? Because you just didn't, you didn't necessarily at the time have the vision and see the potential, but you did see it because the rest is history. So here we are now. But I just thought it was interesting. I love your honesty, bro. Because you like me. I gotta call balls and strikes the way I see them.
Well, I didn't see it for the past 20 plus years. I was running a pest control business, and at the end of the day, I was chasing bugs, and I wasn't thinking about diversifying, going in other areas. I just knew my focus was just right. You're chasing the bugs, killing the bugs. I'm building a pest control brand. That's what I did. And when people call me, I did not pay attention to the sign. And having always been a one-man show, it's just like you can only focus on so much at any given time. And that was my focus at that point in time until, as of recent, when I paid attention to the digital on the interstates, and I just paid attention in a few years ago. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty good there. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, I got that over there. I can enhance this. I can do this. I can do that. And that's when I went digital.
Great, man. So listen, I'm just curious because you talk about your pest control business. Do you still have that, or have you given up killing the bugs?
I'm still in that, but time is kind of catching up with me. That's a young man's business, and I'm still involved in it. But I'm not necessarily so trying to grow that because
Gotcha.
it's a young man's business, and the reality of it is, at the end of the day, it takes younger arms, younger legs, younger backs to do it, and that's not out there to be found. So I'm just kind of like the little wheel that just kind of hanging around in that aspect. But then the
Gotcha.
digital is the platform that I'm looking at. That's what I'm moving forward ahead with.
I got you. So, what have been some of your biggest challenges? Because like you said, you guys have made history, being the only black-owned outdoor digital billboard company here in the state of South Carolina. So, I mean, even though this is 2021, and last year that we saw so much talk about a racial reckoning. I mean, this is still America. I could imagine there were and probably still are some challenges, and you've overcome those challenges to become very successful. Is there a story or two you'd like to share in terms of some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome to get to where you are? Because I'm sure there's probably some people who, like you, maybe had a vision or wanted to make a pivot and say, you know what, I think I can do this. But you may have some self-doubt. But hearing your story, they may say, well, listen, I heard Rodney's story and I heard Raquel. If they can do it, heck, I can probably do it too. So I'm sure you may have a story or two you want to share in terms of some of the obstacles you guys had to overcome.
My biggest obstacle has been being a black man in America. Number one, first and foremost, and I am in an industry that's, if not all, well, it can't be with all because I'm into that's predominantly white. And we've looked at trying to find other African American in the industry, outdoor advertising, or as it's called, out of home advertising, OOH is the official name.
Okay.
You don't find a lot of African American into it. We are generally the landowners that allow the companies to place this sign on our property, and we get peanuts for it. And what they will tell you, look, we're only going to put a sign here. The baseboard, the platform is the size of a tire. It's just going to be here. And we're thinking that we're doing good, getting $800 or $900 a year, where you got companies on the out-of-home advertisement industry that's traded on Wall Street.
Wow.
These companies are making billions of dollars, and we just don't think that much about it. And since I've got into the industry, just in my local area here in the Carolinas, I've went and I've spoken to people that I've known that's got signs by different company on their property. I'm like, look, let's review the lease. You're not getting paid well. Don't renew the lease. Da, 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 da. They don't want to hear that because they're thinking if they're getting $800 to $900 a year, they're thinking that they're doing well. And at the end of the day, if it's a static board, the company might be getting about maybe $30,000 a year for that sign being there on that spot. If it's digital, they're getting 300,000 plus.
Wow.
But the sad part about it, when you go there, you're in the industry, you're talking to people that look like you, you're trying to educate them. They don't want to hear what you have to say, and you sit there, and it's almost depressing because you get to a point where you don't even want to talk anymore because you're like, look, I'm not trying to get your location. You're locked into this. Let's look at this lease. And these leases have a 20-year / lifetime warranty. If you don't give them an advance notice of non-renewal within a certain period of time, then that lease renew for an automatic another 20 years.
Wow.
So it becomes ongoing, on and on. So it's stuck in the family. And the saddest part for me has been, besides other people asking me, the first thing comes out of people's mouth, how'd you get it? I'm like, well, hell, I bought it. Well, how'd you get it? How'd you get it? How'd you pay for it? I paid for it. So those are the things that I get. But when I'm trying to inform other people of the value of what they have on their property, it's sad that they don't want to hear it. And my attitude's always been, for other African American like myself, we are still inherently wealthy in a lot of areas, but we're wealthy in dirt, and the dirt is black gold. That's the dirt. And we don't realize that, and it's sad, but when we're trying to inform our own on what you have and the value of it, they don't want to hear it.
How many billboards? What's the ultimate goal? How many billboards? And why put a limit on it? I mean, I grew up in Chicago where you had a company, Gannett. Gannett had billboards all over. You know, they were on the buses and they had the signs, the billboards over the interstate, over the Dan Ryan and the Kennedy, and then I moved to Memphis. Actually, it was a radio company, Clear Channel, which is now iHeart. But they actually got started off in the outdoor advertising. It was Clear Channel outdoor advertising. They were bigger, more so in the Mid-South region, like Tennessee, Memphis, Texas. They were pretty big. So what's vision-wise? How many billboards would you eventually like to spring up? And I'm sure you want to grow. So are you looking to do it regionally, nationally, globally, just here in the Carolinas? What's like the ultimate vision in terms of where you want to go with Lockwood Outdoor
In
Advertising?
actuality, my goal will be regionally, then nationally, and I think that's coming more. I think that's coming into focus now because see, the issue with that is it's not as easy as having the capital. It's not the issue of just being able to go out and do it. The issue is regulation. What's in place in a lot of the places now, for an example, here in the Carolinas, a lot of the government and the local municipality, you have to take down 4 static board in order to put down 1. If you have to be able to take down 4 in order to put down 1, that doesn't allow anyone else pretty much to get into it. But at the end of the day, you got your large companies. I don't want to call it name, but you got a lot of companies that's traded on Wall Street. Mm-hmm. They help our local government write legislation. And our local government, when they wrote this legislation, they don't know what the hell what they're doing at that point in time. But this legislation is in place. Okay, if you have to take down 4 static to put on 1 digital, and I ran into that with some local governing body that I've looked at along Interstate 95 and purchasing property. They're like, well, you can do it, but you got to take down 4 in order to put up 1. I said, well, what if I don't have 4? Well, you can't put up 1. I said, well, that sounds discriminatory to me. That sounds like these larger companies who help not just these people, our state government, to write these legislation that allow them to write a monopoly. So now you're writing a discriminatory monopoly, so that makes it extremely hard to actually grow. And through some legislation that's been happening in Tennessee, Nevada, and some other in Texas, there's been legislation that's been happening all over the country. And based upon that, I have given those legislation to some representative here locally. And this is going to be addressed from the General Assembly standpoint, because what we have here, we have local government not realizing that they're in bed with they're in bed with the people that monopolize in the industry. And back in 1973, when Judge Green had broken up Bell South, that was supposed to be the end of these monopoly. But these companies have a way they keep coming in, they're buying the bigger companies, buying the smaller companies. So, based upon that, I think it's going to be addressed from a legislative standpoint. And I'm hoping that my state, the state of South Carolina, based upon the representative that we spoke with, is going to be in the forefront of this because it's starting in California, it's Nevada, it's Colorado, there's other states. And even Tennessee, there was one case in Tennessee where the judge ordered the city to pay $665,000 in attorney fee because they violated the outdoor advertisement company. What was it? The First Amendment right, Amendment to free speech. Okay. And there's some other legislation that's came through where there's some other companies that it went before the appellate court in different regions where the federal court said that they can't do it because what the local governing body's been doing, they've been paying landowners not to renew the lease for billboard companies as a way of getting billboard companies out of it. So it's huge. Wow. This is huge. I would hope at some point in time that will be addressed from the federal standpoint, but I have been in contact with my local legislative. The district that I'm in, unfortunately, I'm in district number 8 in Berkeley County. I've had not received no response from none of these clowns that's in office, but there are other people in office that I'm not even in their district. I got property in their district, but I don't vote in their district. They saw the difference in all this and they're addressing it. So we're going to see what happens from the legislative standpoint. So the biggest thing is not necessarily so the monetary end, but it's the red tape that you get from local government and saying that you can't do this, you can't do that. And you can get a situation, i.e. North Charleston. They're saying, well, you can't do this, but you look down Highway 52 and you have certain companies. I'm like, what the hell? They just put up 2 billboards. When I went down there and I asked, what are the requirements? What's my zoning requirements to put up a new board? Well, you can't, the city don't allow it. I'm like, but you just allow this company to put up 2 on Highway 52 on Rivers Avenue. So, and see, those are things that's real frustrating.
Let me ask just real quick, not to cut you off, but I think this might be an important question just to educate the public. So antitrust laws wouldn't apply in situations like this?
I think it would, and that's what the state legislators that I spoke with said, that they felt like antitrust laws involved with this. And at the end of the day, getting an attorney to address it here is like turning night into day. You just can't get one to have the conversation. They were like, well, I understand. I don't do this. We don't do this type of law, da-da-da-da-da. Because my first response was, I go to an attorney, and I went to at least 5 of them and explained the situation, showed them the statutes that happened in Tennessee. And they're like, well, that's a different district. I said, but if a federal court ruled on it, doesn't it set precedent? Yeah, but it only set precedent for that district, not this district. But I'm like, but if once a federal judge rule on it, that's setting a precedence that can go all over the horizon. So, right. And that's when I got kind of really tired and I got frustrated. So I went to legislative process.
Well, good, because I mean, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on my show, but I am familiar with antitrust laws, and antitrust laws are federal laws. They're not state laws. I mean, but that's a whole nother story. But you know what? Hopefully, watching the show, there's some lawyers that's watching that's like, let me reach out to the brothers and sisters over there at Lockwood Outdoor Advertising. So listen, I appreciate your time, but before you get out of here, if there's one piece of advice that you'd like to share with any other entrepreneurs, maybe up and coming, or maybe some entrepreneurs that have faced some of the obstacles that you guys had to face, what would be the best, or maybe I can phrase the question this way: what's the best piece of advice that anyone, be in business or not, that was given to you that's really helped you in your business? The best piece of advice you've gotten.
I'm going to say, and I'll let Raquel address this, I'm going to say, don't give up. It's your dream, it's your passion. Don't give up, because for as many doors you knocked on, you're going to be told no, no, no. It's very discouraging. It'll get to a point where it makes you just want to crawl under a rock and just pull it on top of you. Yeah. But don't give up, because at the end of the day, you've got a story to be told. And if you're that emphatic about it, you're that passionate about it, you're not wrong. You just aren't talking to the right people. And at the end of the day, it's just hard to get in front of the right people.
Yeah. And all it takes, and all it takes is one. It just takes that one right person that either sees your vision, shares your vision, or they believe in you. They see something special in you, and they're like, you know what? I want to support this person. So listen, congratulations. Raquel, I'm sorry, you wanted to jump in. I didn't want to cut you off. Please jump right in.
Well, Rodney was doing so well.
Yeah, hey, Rodney, you got a law degree over there? I know. I'm listening to the brother. He knows his stuff there. You know, I think he a lawyer on the QT. He's modest. He's a humble, modest brother. Nothing like me, the exact opposite of me. But you've done your homework, brother. I'm very proud of you. But it explains.
Thank you.
It explains the success. And you know, listen. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. You mentioned. I mean, you know, being a black man. And really, for black women, and I gotta really just keep it 1,000. It's one thing, you know, us as black men, we've dealt with everything, the racism and people fear you just because the skin you're in. But then black women, Raquel, you guys got to deal with the racism, and then you got to deal with the sexism and misogyny. It's like, my God. But
Well, the one thing I'll say about that, and is in retrospect, is being a black man, a black chocolate man. Okay, that takes it to a different level.
Well, listen, and let me tell you something, man. I hear what you're saying. I may not be as chocolate as you, but one thing I've learned, that when you're dealing with folks who view you through the prism of racism and white nationalism and hate, that whole color struck thing that we kind of brainwashed. We were taught that to hate each other, because the truth is, when they see us, they don't see, Brother Rodney is chocolate and Geno is kind of meat. Listen, we both get the N-word title. They don't decipher between, he dark and, they don't, it ain't no shades of gray, no 50 Shades of Gray, to borrow a movie title. Me and you, we gonna all, and Raquel, we all gonna fall in that same category, which is a whole nother conversation. So that's something that we collectively, as not just African Americans, but I could just go on in terms of the whole African diaspora, Afro-Latino brothers and sisters, is that, hey, listen, you know what, because trust me, tragic example, the person who was in law enforcement that killed Walter Scott, trust me, it could have been Walter Scott, it could have been you, could have been me. They wouldn't have been like, okay, well, this brother a little darker, he a little lighter. No, they don't look at it that way. They just see us all as, yeah. So, Raquel, jump right in, please.
Well, to stay in that vein, we have experienced racism in this business. Even with an advertisement that we did in the Charleston City paper, it was a big full-page ad, and it was their graphics department made it into a billboard about supporting Black businesses and local businesses. So we got some hate mail. Someone actually sent an envelope with a Tennessee postmark on it, cut our ad out of the paper, scratched out Black, put local, and then wrote across it, "You dumb fuck."
Wow.
Because they thought that we should not be talking about Black and business in the same conversation or category. So that's just one of the things that we've experienced. This is real, and my advice to other Black businesses out there, because I teach an entrepreneurship class, would be legitimize your business. Because when COVID-19 happened, some of the phone calls that I got were from businesses that did not know what to do, because their business was still, they were operating it like a hobby. And so they were not able to apply for any assistance and didn't know what they were going to do. So that's taught a lot of us a good lesson. We've got a second go around with, CARES Act, PPP, and all of that stuff again. If you need it, great, do it. But in the meantime, if you're not going to go that route, please make sure that you legitimize your business.
I love that. I think that's some great advice. And I always say, listen, success is the best revenge. So for all those ignorant, hateful people that had something negative to say about your ad in the paper and everything that Rodney, you talked about, you went through, I was always taught, my mother's watching now, and she taught me, and then my grandparents, God rest their soul, they would be like, Jeannie, success is the best revenge. So, and if you weren't,
yes, it is. And
if you weren't doing something right, you say if nobody's hating on you, then you ain't doing something. So you must be doing something right, right? That people are, which is crazy to me, because I know I'm wired differently, but I don't feel your success. If anything, it could serve as motivation, inspiration, a chance for me to kind of check myself and do self-inventory. I'm like, okay, you know what? They're handling their business. Let me get in the lab. Let me look in the mirror. Let me be honest with myself. Do I need to step up my game? Let me work on something. I think, Rachel, you said it in a more professional, articulate way than I did. But like you said, just you want to make sure that you got your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and make sure that you're making the investment and really do the research. And Rodney, you were a great example. I mean, you got to know your business. I mean, it's like anything else.
Absolutely.
You got to do your homework. You got to do research. You know, you need to find mentors to talk to people who have been successful and people who have maybe failed, because we all fail. As a matter of fact, the most successful people will tell you that that they failed probably more times than people who had not reached their level of success.
Absolutely.
But they take failure, they don't even use the word failure. They look at as failure, the way society defines it, as a teachable moment. And all they do is like I said, to get back in the lab. And every failure is a teachable moment, and you can learn something from it, and you can put all that together. And then once you finally get it, you're unstoppable. So look, I was so honored to have you guys on today, and I want to share this with my audience. I want to thank you guys also, because I told you guys that I had a brand new sponsor to introduce to you. So here they are, the Geno Jones Show. Our new official sponsor is Lockwood Outdoor Advertising. So if you have a business and you want to get the word out, once again, if you're here in the Charleston metro area, or maybe you may have a product, it's a digital billboard to where people can basically go online and support your business. So you may want to advertise here in this market, which is a huge, this market is growing. I think this last statistic I saw every day, it's like 40 or 50 new people are moving into this area every day. So it's a very fast growing area. So listen, Rodney and Raquel, you guys want to please give everybody information who would like to get some more information. If you guys want to go ahead and make the investment and get your company, and these billboards, listen, full disclosure, I see them, I drive by it. There's one that Rodney talked about on Clements Ferry. It looks good. It's like, well, man, if I had the money, I need to go on and have, I want to see my name and my business names up in lights. It really looks cool. So why don't you guys give the public some information, give them a phone number, and also give the people the website where they can go. And if you want to give an email address, people can reach out to you and get some more information and find out how they can get their business up on Lockwood Outdoor Advertising.
All right, you can reach us at, this is the email address, info@lockwoodoutdoor.com, info@lockwoodoutdoor.com. Visit our website at lockwoodoutdoor.com, lockwoodoutdoor.com. My number is 843-442-5011, 843-442-5011, and Rodney's is 843-860-7325.
All right, now listen, last year you heard all this talk about this racial reckoning and support black business. All right, well, damn it, this is how you support black business. You call that phone number, you get that email address, you go online, and you talk to Raquel and Rodney and find out how you can go ahead and have your company being advertised up. Like you said, see your name and your company's names up in lights on this digital billboard. So once again, I want to thank you guys. Congratulations, making history, the only black-owned outdoor digital billboard company in the state of South Carolina. I hope and pray, and I'm claiming that we will soon get to a day to where we won't have to be the first, to where it can be like one of many. But you know what?
Absolutely, that's correct.
But before you can get to 2 or 2,000, you got to start at 1. So you guys have started right here in the state of South Carolina, being the only black-owned outdoor digital billboard company. A truly inspirational story, great company. Thank you for being a sponsor, official sponsor for the Geno Jones Show. Give them a call, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, obviously, you guys know you got a home, so I know we'll be seeing you sometime in the near future. Thank you once again, Raquel Padgett, Rodney Lockwood, Lockwood Outdoor Advertising, the official sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. Have a great evening. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Geno.
All right, man, that's exciting, man. I'm really, really proud of them. Brother Rodney, he's done his homework. I love that, man, because folks are definitely, boy, they'll try to saying they'll throw salt in the game and try to change the rules in the middle of the game. They see you winning. And me winning is not in life. Me winning is not you losing. It's not a zero-sum game. In the game of life and in business, I can win and you can win too. We're not going after necessarily the same audience. And maybe we are. But some days, some folks may say, well, you know what? I want to do business because I like the way they rock the business over here. And then they may want something different that you provide. That's a whole different conversation. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show, daily live variety show right here on my YouTube channel, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 out there in the West Coast, out there in San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Los Angeles. Once again, I thank you to Raquel Padgett and Rodney Lockwood. Once again, the official sponsors of the Geno Jones Show, Lockwood Outdoor Advertising. Go to www.lockwoodoutdoor.com. That's www.lockwoodoutdoor.com. All right? Mother, I love you, and I want to thank everybody for watching. I love you. I love you guys. I really, really do. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Also, I'll be shouting you guys out later in the week. We're going to have a feature at least one day a week. Shout out to the new subscribers. I got you all, okay? Because I see them, guys. But spread the word for me. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Binge watch all the previous episodes I've had. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they were guests. We had a great conversation. Lettucey was my guest a couple weeks ago. Lenny Williams, Chris Jasper. You know Lenny Williams, yeah. You know, 'cause I love you. You know, Mr. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, that song. So, cool, brother. Great conversation. Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers. Larry Dotson, former lead singer of the Barcades, my man, Unc. Reggie Calloway from Midnight Star. Future soul artist, my man, Gene Noble, made the song Matching Tattoos, a big hit record that's out right now. Had my man, Aloe Black. And got some other great guests coming up too, so you don't want to miss that. Also, we support black businesses right here on the Geno Jones Show, and it is Women's History Month, so we are going to feature and amplify the voices and stories of black businesses, and especially black women in business and just in all walks of life, especially this month. All right, have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is that you're watching my show. The Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno, G-E. Once again, I love you. I really do. Till next time, be blessed.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.